Today's Thursday, October 21st, and here's today's top news. There was a surgeon in New York who was successful in putting a pig kidney inside a human patient. And this was used for an organ transplant. So they got a kidney from a pig itself and genetically engineered it to fit inside a human for human use. The pig itself had died, however, there was a machine that was keeping it artificially alive. The family of the patient allowed it to be used for emergency transplant. And understand that that kind of pig to human transplant is not going to be readily available for use because it's still early in the beginning stages of experimentation. And there's a lot of concerns about the efficacy and the science behind it. And so there's a lot more discussion that will need to happen in the future. If scientists and other leaders are capable of figuring it out, and pig organs may become available for transplant. And there are now thousands of Americans that are waiting for transplant, that are on transplant waiting lists, and pig organs might be a good answer for that, for things like heart, liver, kidney, etc. CNBC News has a poll that says that President Biden's approval rating, they asked about 800 different Americans their opinions, and only 41% say that they approve of the job that Biden is doing. The top two concerns for Americans were COVID death rates and the increasing cost of living, along with inflation. Originally, he had high approval ratings due to Americans being excited about the presidential switch. However, this has steadily declined in the last few months. President Trump announced that he will set up and develop a new social media app. It's called Follow the Truth, or Truth Social Media. It's owned by a company called Trump Media and Technology Group. And Trump is hoping that that app will take off and become competitive with other social media platforms, such as Facebook, that Trump is now kicked out of, and he's challenging in the courts. He's also looking to into different avenues that he can get into regarding the news. You can now download that on the App Store, but some people doubt that this app will really be successful and popular. So now we have to wait and see whether this app will take off or not. The NFL agree that it will no longer have race-based adjustments and testing for retired players who file for financial compensation for concussions. The NFL has had the money for a while, and they've been giving it out to players who are struggling with mental or with head injuries from their playing days. However, the NFL has used testing in this, assuming that black people have a lower cognitive function compared to white players. This means that black players actually had a harder time to prove they had brain injuries compared to white players. However, the NFL has, and this would reduce their chance to get financial support from the NFL. There are over 100 NFL players who could have potentially missed on getting payouts and of $500,000 or more. 2 former players sued the NFL last year, and now the NFL has agreed to a settlement of $1 billion with the people who were suing them. And the NFL has also agreed to stop providing testing that was based on a player's skin color. And they will also allow black players that have retired to give new score results or can take new tests for their cognitive functions. The FDA just approved vaccine mixing, meaning that Americans who have not gotten Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccines can also get the Pfizer vaccine as a third booster. The FDA also approved a booster shot for Moderna and Johnson & Johnson. Moderna's third shot would be a half dose, and a Johnson & Johnson shot would be a second dose, similar to the one dose this is due to the one dose that they had previously. However, the ability to mix vaccines will make it a lot more flexible for booster shots for all people. The CDC is now meeting to discuss the final listing of their official recommendation as to who should get a booster shot and when. Two In-N-Out hamburger restaurants in the San Francisco Bay Area are refusing to check vaccine papers for people who want to eat inside. The area has a governmental requirement that you need to check vaccine cards to dine inside. You need to either show a vaccine card or a negative COVID test. But there was one restaurant in Pleasant Hill that was fined $250,000, another one that was fined $500,000 for not checking their vaccination records. One restaurant in San Francisco announced one restaurant in San Francisco had to be shut down because they did not check the vaccination cards. They've recently reopened, however, they won't allow people inside, only takeout. The CEO of In-N-Out said that the restaurant refuses to become the vaccine police for any government. They said it's not safe to force their restaurant workers to separate from customers to serve inside, but they don't want to discriminate based on papers or any other reasoning. So that's all the top news for today. We have other videos on Daily Moth, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Stay with the light.